Am I the unreasonable one for not telling my sister my fiancé understands our native language? Throw away because of personal reasons. My sister, L, is not very fond of my fiancé, J. In fact, she has never really liked any of past partners. L has always been tolerant of them, but has always managed to nitpick them apart. L and I share two common languages, plus English, and usually she would talk badly about my partners when they were around in our shared languages. I would either ignore it or shut it down, but she was rather relentless. I moved away for 4.5 years to a completely different country where I met my fiancé. When I came back with J, then girlfriend, I brought her to meet my family. I didn't mention to L that J spoke multiple languages, but I warned J that my sister tended to make rude comments about my girlfriends. During my sister's very first interaction with J, she made a snarky comment. My mom and I both told her off. However, J stayed silent, giving no indication that she understood my sister. Every time J and I met L, she would make an awful pass at her. J would pretend she was oblivious to the whole thing. It became our inside joke, and it helped J pay no attention to the comments, which in essence were extremely rude and hurtful. I don't visit my family often. 2 years later we're engaged, and my mom within the duration of that 2 years, discovered our little inside joke. She didn't protest to the joke as we all think my sister's consistent slander of my relationships is petty. L came to stay at our place for a week as her house had a mold problem. She began to insult J, nitpicking every aspect of her behavior, her clothing, her hairstyle, etc. I would always urge L to stop, but she never listened. J's breaking point was when L made a nasty comment about J's family, specifically her brother, who she's very close with. She was understandably hurt, and revealed to L that she could speak and understand our language perfectly. L was shocked, accused me of teaching her the language. You can't gatekeep a language, to which J had to explain to her that she could understand her the entire time. L is pissed. She says that she's humiliated and betrayed by the both of us. She asked a bunch of what-if questions. What if I was discussing private matters and she was listening in? Or what if I want family matters to stay in the family? Or what if she's a blabbermouth, etc. My sister believes that she only speaks in a different language in order to hide the details of the conversation that are private matters. My mom has always thought that my sister's comments were incredibly childish and terrible, but she insists that we carried on the joke for too long. My fiancé has apologized to my sister as she feels very guilty and is encouraging me to do the same. I don't see why I have to. Am I the unreasonable one? Update. I've seen some valid criticism that make me feel like a terrible boyfriend. I now understand that I should have definitely stood up to my sister and defended my fiancé more. My fiancé and I had a talk about how the comments really make her feel. She doesn't fault me for not cutting off my sister or even inviting her to stay for a week because she knows that family is complicated. I apologized, and promised her that the next steps forward would be done on her terms. Not the unreasonable one. If she didn't want to get caught out saying rude things, she shouldn't say them in any language. If that were my sibling, I would have dashed her in the bin by now. But, let's be reasonable here. I do think you ever so slightly are the a-hole just because your partner has had to listen to all this awful stuff being said about them, and if your sister knew your partner could understand, she would not have said all that stuff in front of them and been subjected to that level of a-holery. Everyone always deserves to be in the know, and it would have given you an opportunity then to pull your sister up on her awful behavior. However, your sister is the biggest a-hole here and no amount of but what-ifs will absolve her of this. Not the unreasonable one. But why are you putting up with your sister and subjecting your fiancé to her? Everyone sucks here. Why the hell did she apologize? And why on earth have you been letting your fiancé be verbally abused for this long? WIBTA, my parents won't let me go to school due to my sister's meltdown. Okay, so I, F17, just started my senior year of high school. Generally a big year for a teenager, you know? All the schools in my district have the option of either being online schooled for free or going into school, also for free. Originally my parents were gonna homeschool my siblings, M10 and F14, and send me to school, with it being my senior year and all. They didn't want me to miss out. I was so excited. My friends and I were gonna take super obnoxious senior SCN pictures and take pictures in matching masks for the first day of school. One day I'm out with my friends, we went out to the park and were socially distant, 2 hearts. And I come home and my sister has locked herself in her room and is hysterical. For backstory, my sister is the middle child and has always been the center of attention and keeps my parents wrapped around her finger. I ask my brother what happened and he explains that she is furious due to the fact that I get to go to school and she doesn't, and it was basically a screaming match the entire time I was gone. The next day my parents out of nowhere decide that they want to online school me. Skeptical, they didn't give me any reason other than it's just the best option for us as a family. No one in our family is high risk and we don't really interact with the older members of our family due to most of them living hours away. So I am forced to give up my senior year with friends and my final year of marching band. Skeptical. My mom last night finally confessed to me that my sister is the reason for all this. They would rather pull me out of school and extracurriculars than deal with my sister's meltdowns. But here's the cherry on top. My mom doesn't want me bringing this up to my sister at all because she doesn't want it to hurt her feelings or make her feel like I hate her. I have been online schooled before. It destroyed my mental health, it wrecked my grades, and destroyed some of my friendships, and she knows this. And on top of all this, she has treated me like crap for the past month and is repeatedly making me feel terrible about myself. So, would I be the a-hole if I brought it up to her, or am I the a-hole for being upset about this whole situation? Not the unreasonable one. Your mom is prioritizing your sister's feelings over yours. She should get your sister into therapy instead of acting like your feelings don't matter. Your sister needs to realize that the world doesn't revolve around her and your mom isn't helping at all. Not the unreasonable one. In fact, you would be the eye if you didn't say anything. Your parents are not doing your sister any favors. Is there any way for you to just go to school anyway? Like, it's public school, it's not like you have to pay for it. What are your parents gonna do? Ground you for going to school? Everyone sucks here. Your parents aren't being fair to you, and I'm sorry about that. But opening up schools endangers everyone you interact with there. You might not have at-risk family, but what about your teachers and the staff who have to be there to get a paycheck? And do your parents go to the store or anywhere else where they might, even briefly, interact with others? I'm honestly shocked by the amount of people being so indifferent to the serious risks the pandemic poses. Also, thanks for the awards, kind strangers. And to those saying I'm being harsh towards a teen, I'm not blaming her for the choices of adults. I am, however, saying that there's a bigger picture here and she can choose to make the mature, rational decision to stay home. OP is almost a legal adult, and I hope she understands that we're all struggling, but we have to work together for everyone's sake. Not the unreasonable one. You have to advocate for yourself. You are not your sister's keeper. As a big sister myself, my parents' decisions that favored my sister's happiness over mine destroyed my relationship with her. You need to get loud about it. Ask if you'll get your way if you throw a temper tantrum too. You do not need to be pointlessly sacrificed for your sister's temporary happiness. What she's doing is so selfish. Bring up all of your points. 1. It's your senior year, and you want those memories. 2. Your mental health is at risk. 3. Your grades will suffer. 4. It will hurt your friendships. State that your needs are important too, and if they love you they should care about your needs over your sister's immature temper tantrums. Also, get mad at your sister. She's being selfish, and it's important she has some consequences for her actions. Am I the unreasonable one for refusing to put my GF name on my house? Last year I bought a house in early February. It's been great after living in an apartment for almost 2 years. Anyways, I started dating a girl in December of last year. So we have been dating for almost 8 months and she wants to move in with me. I'm cool with it, until she says she wants to put her name on the house. I tell her no, the house is mine, the mortgage is in my name, and I'd like to keep it in only my name to keep things simple. She immediately starts saying that I'm going to leave her and that's why I won't do it. She says if I don't put her name on the house then we're going to break up. Am I the unreasonable one? Edit. Can some women chime in and tell me what they think? Maybe this is some weird woman logic that I don't understand as a man. Maybe she just sees this as the next reasonable step in our relationship. Edit 2. She would be moving in for free, I pay all the bills. Not the unreasonable one. Don't you dare put her name on it. It's your house, your mortgage, and you've only dated her for 8 months. Even if you all dated for longer, it's your house. If she breaks up with you over that, good riddance. You don't deserve that at all. Don't you dare put her name on it. Not the unreasonable one. Don't add her name at all. I knew someone who did that and their significant other broke up with them shortly after and took half the house. Only add someone if they are your spouse, not GF/BF. Not the unreasonable one. Lady here, this is not woman logic. This is worrying, grabby behavior. If you're serious about staying with this girl, make a plan, only if you want this, about when you'll put her on the deeds, like when you get married. Again, only if you want that. Perhaps she can pay as much of the mortgage as she can every month until she's matched the deposit you put it, or pay for redecoration/furniture. 8 months is pretty early days for me, but I know that situations are, everyone is different. Not the unreasonable one. Whoa, no. Do not put her name on your house. You've only been dating for 8 months? That's an insanely short amount of time to just expect someone to put your name on their house when you've footed none of the responsibility. And what if you do break up? Now you have to go through the hassle of changing the deed, etc. The fact that she's demanding this and threatening a breakup over is a huge red flag and definitely should give you pause. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more stories delivered to you. Thanks for listening. See you later.